Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to cut a lapel jacket, a basic lapel jacket. So I am measuring the neckline, which is just the shoulder measurement, which is supposed to be 7, but then I added 3 inches to this because of the folding allowance. So I'm using 3 inches as the folding allowance. So that is the back or shoulder if you like. I marked that 10 inches. Then I'm coming down to mark the armhole depth, which is 8 inches. 8 inches on the tape roll. And then I'm going down to mark the waist measurement, which is the half length of the dress of the blouse now. That's a 17 inches marked. And then I marked the length of the blouse, which is 23 inches. So then I added 2 inches to that for folding the hem allowance. So altogether I have 25 inches for the length. That is my vertical measurement. So I'm going to mark the horizontal measurement now. So what I'm doing here basically is connecting, making a straight line on all my horizontal measurements. Where I'm going to get the horizontal measurements, I'm using the tape rule to mark a straight line along what I've already marked. So I marked the bust pan, I marked the waist, I marked the length, and then the allowance just across the fabric. So then I go to measure the circumference, which is the horizontal measurements. That is 10 inches. The bust for this model is 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. So 10 inches on the tape rule, I mark that 10 inches. And then I am adding 3 inches to that. Remember that we have a 3 inches allowance for the overlapping. I added 3 inches to that. So instead of 10, that is 13 that I'm marking. Then I added another half of an inch for the sewing allowance. I'm using half of an inch to sew this particular one. Next, I go into the waist. The waist measurement is, I think, 17. I'm not sure right now. The waist measurement, I'm going to show you on the tape roll. The waist measurement is 34, yeah. Divided by 2 is 17, and that is divided by 2 again. So you're going to divide that by 4. So what I am marking here is that's divided by 4 plus 3 inches. Remember, always put 3 inches for the folding allowance plus 3 inches. Then we are going to put a dart along this area. So I'm putting an half of an inch for dart allowance, and then another half of an inch for the sewing allowance. So in this place we have 3 different allowances: 3 inches for overlapping, half inch for that, and another half inch for sewing. The next measurement is the waist, the bottom measurement. The bottom of the shirt has the same circumference as the hip measurement. So for this one, it is 11 inches. So after marking 11 inches, I added 3 inches as usual, and then half of an inch for sewing. So I marked that. So what we have here is the bust, the waist, and the hip measurement. So the last one right there is just the folding allowance. So I'm connecting all of these circumference measurements from the bust to the waist and then to the hips. That is done. I go to the armhole now. So I'm going to connect my shoulder measurement to my armhole, just like that. Just a curve as deep as I want it to be. It could be deeper if you want your shoulder to be really straight, depending on what kind of sleeve you want to add to it. So this is as deep as I want this to be. I just connected it. This, remember, is a basic lapel jacket, lapel shirt. This is a female lapel shirt anyway. So I am measuring 3 inches for the neckline, but remember we are going to add another 3 inches for overlapping. So instead of 3 here, I marked 6 inches, and then I come down by 3 inches again for the depth of the length of the neck. So for the neck we have 3 by 6, and it would have been 3 by 3 but the extra 3 inches has to be there for overlapping. And then I slant the shoulder by half. This is a female shoulder, so I don't want to be too steep. And then I slanted that shoulder. So now you're ready to cut. I'm cutting now, so all I do is just cut along all the chalked areas to separate the remaining fabric from the parts that I need to sew, right? If you have any question as you're watching this, please do well to drop your questions down in the comment section so that I can address them in my future videos. Also, please consider liking, sharing this video, and subscribing to my channel to encourage me to continue making contents like this one. Thank you. So having done that, I am cutting the neckline right now. I'll just remove that and also do the slanting of the shoulder. Yeah. So this is a very crucial part. Remember to separate the 2 sides of your shirt because this was cut on fold. So there are 2 sides, the front side right, the front side left. So I am separating the 2 sides right now. That is separated, so I'm putting the 2 sides over each other for you to see how this is going to look like at the end of the day. So that is your lapel shirt almost ready to go. So it's just going to overlap each other like that, and you're going to fold out that way. Of course, there's going to be a facing. I'm considering using white as a facing for this one. I'll let you guys see what it looks like when I'm done. So if you subscribe to this channel, you're going to see the outcome of this shirt. You see the results when everything is done to perfection. So I'm just laying it out here to give you an idea of what this is going to look like. A typical lapel jacket. Thank you.